Hello.
All right, guys, welcome to Walled Off.
Episode 1, take 2.
Yeah, take 25 because we don't know how to do this.
This is a special first episode because we're together.
We are together. We don't look like we're together, but she's over there on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this was challenging to get all this stuff together.
But we're excited to be here. Nina's in Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
at the Louee Vega shack,
Louee Vega Shack. Yeah, exactly. The Love
recording
Shack.
our first episode of our new podcast, Walled Off.
Yep. Welcome to Walled Off.
Yay!
I'm sure you're wondering why you're here
Who we are.
and what we do. Well, pretty much we're here to tell you our story and talk about how we became founders of two brands. Mine is called Nova Linda.
And mine is called Louee Vega.
Yep. And we're just going to catch you up to speed on our founder stories and how the hell we got here.
And I guess we'll start by giving a little backstory about, rapid speed. I think the plan will be to go into more of the backstory because it's also interesting and great on both ends.
Yeah.
And how we got to this point. But we always had the vision of having a podcast or doing some sharing of some sort.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to lay enough groundwork to...
You have just something to share.
Yeah, you have to have something to share. So I think we're there.
Yeah, we're 100% there.
When Nina this summer was like, I think we have to do the podcast, I was like, perfect alignment. Sounds good. So the last few weeks, it just felt like perfect timing. And I guess I can start.
Yeah. Caroline, give us a, how did you get to the point where you called yourself the founder of Louee Vega?
Okay, I finally officially felt like I'm a
how did you
owner,
exactly
creative director, all the
But
things
who was
of
she
my brands.
before Louee Vega?
Yeah, who was I? Okay, so I don't know how far back we should go, but I guess it's all very relevant that I grew up in the industry.
She's a Nepo baby.
I'm a Nepo baby, guys. I own it. I rock it. It is what it is. Okay. I grew up with my mom being a founder, CEO, inventor of a custom high-end furniture brand called Bradley, which Nina and I both work for, but we focus on the textile division. So we, together, our day jobs, we run that side of the business where we sell fabrics, wallpapers, all the things. So I grew up in that world. I loved it. I would work every summer in the sampling rooms for the furniture business, put on stickers on concrete samples and mirror samples, pack up packages, go all around with my mom. So I had the background, and then I also had the desire and interest of the world, and I'm an artist by nature, so I did a lot of fine art in high school and college, but I wasn't quite sure what am I going to study. It was confusing because I had this artistic side, and my mom is a high level creative, and my dad is more like, I don't know, what's the word?
He's an engineer.
He's an engineer, and he joined the business, which will be like a whole conversation for later, but it's a family-run business. He joined. My mom's a high-level creative. I'm somewhere right in the middle.
Yeah.
So the route of where I was going to go school-wise was confusing because, not saying this I don't know how to say it. I was good at school, okay? I don't align with that personality-wise and in my adult years, but I was always really good at school. And so there was this pressure of going to a good school, and I got into some good schools. But it was like, at the end of the day, I didn't have that much interest in studying more.
Yeah.
I knew I could do it, but I was really looking back, I think I had more of a passion to do something in interior design, fashion, but I kind of had a lot of birds chirping to not limit myself to an artistic lane. And so
they care about you and they want you to make money.
They want me to make money.
You have a roof over your head. So they're like, don't be an artist.
Don't be an artist. And I also knew interior design school was a lot of work.
Yeah, those people are crazy.
So a lot of work. And my mom kind of pushed me away from that too, because she knew there was so much I could learn in the field without having to dedicate 4 years to that. So I appreciated that. So anyway, I go to business school. have a minor in art. Fast forward through all of that with all this background that I have. I graduate in 2020. Terrible year for a lot of reasons. And I had no idea what was going to be next. Where am I going to go work? What do I want to do? I think at that point I did have a lot of skills, but like you just don't know how to express them in an interview when you have actually not that much experience.
Yeah, because it's like, what do you do with those? You
Yeah.
don't know how to like make the skills all work for each other and
Right.
with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's natural. That's actually what it should feel like, but it makes you feel like insecure, no direction, all that stuff. Then point two on top of that is I really, really did not want to work for the family business yet. I knew that. I wanted to get away from mom and dad. No offense, mom and dad. But I was like, I have to go do something else.
Yep.
I had an internship in college in Neiman Marcus, but that was like a corporate internship. Wasn't for me. So I knew it was like probably not going to be fashion, but in this creative world, probably interior design based, but I didn't have an interior design degree. Okay. I was confused. I had a lot of skills, but on paper, I was a confusing candidate.
Yeah.
So
I can relate.
Right. And I know I'm going off into a lot of detail here, but I feel like it's going to all come full circle.
Well, yeah. Well, also like you have to go into detail because a lot of what we're going to talk about is like the story behind getting to the point where you're like, oh, I'm going to build something of my own.
Yeah. You have the confidence, you do have the skill,
Exactly.
which I'm like,
and like how it all
starting to
like
build the story of
comes
how I
together.
got more skill than I already had.
Right.
Which, so, okay. So now I'm in 2020. I got to figure out, I thought I was going to move to LA. I couldn't. It was a wrong timing. But I landed in Charleston, South Carolina for 2 years. I fortunately had a network of interior designers I could reach out to from my parents' network. So I reached out to a family friend / interior designer who my mom had already done a lot of business with. And she was amazing. And I interviewed there as an office manager, got the job, and I was so nervous. Like I knew nothing. I was so nervous, but I also like knew a lot.
You had Nepo pressure too.
I had Nepo pressure. They were like,
they're like,
the
expect
girls
you
in
to
there
be
were like
amazing.
amazing, but they also knew like where I was coming from this brand where I knew a lot, but I also didn't have the like technical experience from school. It was a lot, but at the same time, like best first job I could have ever had in the world. It pushed me so much, but they were also like nurturing to me. I got to like see the design technical side, but I did a lot of administrative work, which I was really good at. So that job was amazing. It served me so well for what I'm doing right now, in a lot of different ways. And then I had the opportunity to move to LA, got a job for another interior designer, which also great, but a whole nother step up of responsibility, challenging, big city.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I was going in my personal life, it was too much. So fast forward to join the family business. It was time. It made sense. 2 years out in the field wasn't as much time as maybe I thought I would spend. But of course, there were things outside my control that ultimately led me into the position to start working with Nina, who was already at my parents' company for 4 years at that point.
Right. And then where was Louee Vega in all of this?
Yeah. Okay. So in the 2020 time where I didn't know what job I wanted to have and I didn't want to work at the family business, I was doing art kind of just as a free spirit, COVID, that feeling when we were all kind of just trying to like
have a hobby
because you had all this time. I was at my family
outside of
beach
your
house.
head. Yeah.
I was really fortunate. We were all safe, healthy. So I was just doing art and it felt amazing. Then while I'm kind of rejecting this pressure to join the family business, my mom's already thinking ahead of, oh my gosh, look at this art you just created. And she took some of her own liberty with my permission and some involvement of me and was like, we're making these into wallpaper patterns and you're going to have your own wallpaper brand. And I was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not going to do that. So anyway, she planted the seed of my business for me. And one, I'm so grateful. Two, that's where the magic kind of was for me because I'm someone that's like always in my own head. I'm a perfectionist, all these things. So the two of us work really well together because she just does and she just goes and all these things. And then I'm very thoughtful and I curate and do a lot of stuff that like balances all of that out. So Louee Vega started from basically being shoved into the deep end
Yeah.
not knowing what I'm doing.
And in that time, when I was working, I was like 2 years into working there.
Yeah.
So like one of those years was an intern. I'll get into it. I have no background in any of this stuff before I started working there. And she just shows up in the showroom one day and she was like, so we're starting a wallpaper line. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, sure. I guess we're starting a wallpaper line. And like we had literally no idea what we were doing other than the fact that we were managing some other indie wallpaper brands. So we've like seen it. And we were like, okay, I'm sure we can figure this out. And then she's like, these are Caroline's drawings. And I was like, okay, where's Caroline?
Yeah. She's not here and she doesn't want to do it, but we're going to do it.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, whatever, boss. Like,
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
For sure. So Nina was there front row seat to this whole messy experience. And there were so many hands in on my first collection, which like I'm really proud to say because it's a successful collection and it was a really good learning lesson for me to have like my artwork be turned into like a pattern with like 3 or 4 people's hands on that pattern, and like that's the magic in it.
And at the time, the only goal was to literally take this artwork and make it into wallpaper. Like, like
there was no brand.
No, there was nothing. Caroline, we were like, what do you want to call it? She's like, I don't know. And then like after hounding her, she's like, Louee Vega, get out of my face.
Yeah.
And
we're like, it was like just came out of my mouth.
Right. There was no brand at the time. It was, we just had the idea for the product and we're like, and then we'll just figure it out as we go. Yep.
So that's a really important part of the story because I think a lot of times, part of the reason when we want to start this podcast, a lot of times you hear from like founders and brands that are 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the road and they've overcome so much stuff. And like they might share the beginning like nuggets of like what it was like to start it, but like I feel like they can't even like remember because they're so far down into success.
It's how it comes off, at least.
Yeah.
When they talk about it. Yeah.
And I think that it's like I, at this time in my life, like love to hear like the honest truth. Like I listen to people that are super honest on podcasts and share all of these things because it's way more relatable and it's way more, I don't know, just like real. And you can sense that a lot of cool things come from just
people with ideas.
Yeah, people with ideas just trying things.
Right. And just like putting it out there. Like getting it out of your head.
Like starting this vision board, knowing everything that's going to come next. Everything's mapped out. Everything's planned out. You have your website person sitting right there ready for you to go. I started a brand and I didn't have my own website for 3 years.
Well, and it's funny you say that because here I am with a brand and no website.
There you go. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It just, you gotta start.
Yeah.
And
so
like,
we're here to take you guys through all that, but these are like the foundation stories and they're really cool because we've learned so much from them and we've grown so much from them and we've moved through so much resistance.
Yeah. And that's what, so, okay, I'm going to catch you up to speed on, because then we're going to talk about like, like when because we remember it, like when we finally made the choice to be like, we're taking this on.
Exactly.
So I'm going to catch you guys up on how I ended up here. So Caroline and I's stories, of course, overlap. So, but pretty much I've been working at this family business, Bradley, for about 7 years now. I came in as an intern. I knew nothing about the business. Previous to being an intern there, I graduated college in 2018 with an accounting degree, went to do a public accounting internship. Hated that. Wasn't for me. Just, it was way too rigid. Similar to you, I have both sides of the brain where it's like I need to be like creatively stimulated, but then I also have this like analytical side of me. So like accounting fed the analytical, that like actually sucked dry the creative. And then my transition from accounting was, of course, to be a model. Makes perfect sense. Wonderful. I felt so drained from accounting that it's like the pendulum just swung all the way to the other side. And I was like, I want to be like only a creative.
Yeah. And you guys can, if you're watching this, you can see Nina, but like you'd be doing a disservice to humanity if you didn't try it.
Everyone from my whole life was like, volleyball,
height,
basketball,
beauty.
Okay, so model. And I'm
everything.
Like, actually none of the above, but I guess I'll give modeling a shot.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. And there's so many, and like how you were saying skill wise, like the skills I picked up in accounting, I use to this day. The skills I picked up in modeling, I use to this day. I wouldn't be able to set up this lighting without modeling.
There you go. Nina did all of this work. Okay. I have no idea.
That to say, I needed something that was feeding both sides. And what I came to the conclusion at that point is that I needed to be an entrepreneur. Now that's like saying I need to be a brain surgeon and not having not one, you don't even know what the next step to take. Like it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you're supposed to be doing something, but you don't know how to even take a step in that direction because you don't know where the direction is.
Yep.
You don't know where it is.
And I think there's a lot of pressure on the entrepreneur route that it's like you just jump to that for some reason. Like for specifically that, I think people think that like the people that have started big businesses and stuff just one day woke up and started a business.
Right.
But it's exactly what you said, like any field, there's
this was
so
like-
much value in learning from other people first.
Yeah, and this was like 7 years ago. So like I knew I was destined for entrepreneurship. I like being in charge. I like having creative control. Like everything in my personality leans to that. I got something to prove for some reason.
We like money.
We like how we make money.
Yes.
If I really just like money, then accounting would have been it.
Exactly.
So like there's
You
just,
needed all pieces.
yeah. And I just am someone that like truly believes that you can have it all. Like I really believe that if you have a desire for it, it's meant for you. You're meant to have it. But figuring out the how and like the path, like that's the challenging part. So pretty much because the only entrepreneur I knew that would probably hire me was Michelle. I knew Caroline in high school. Little backstory: I knew Caroline in high school. I knew Michelle in high school because I was friends with Caroline's brother, Joe, her older brother, Joe. So that's how I knew Michelle. So, but fast forward, I call Michelle and I'm like, I need a job. And she was like, do you have any knowledge or background in this field at all? And I was like, well, no. But I won't make you regret it. That was all I
I
had.
worked really hard, I promise.
I was like, I'll sell you on a dream. And I guess she loved it. But then I came on, did the interning. 2 years into that, Louee Vega gets started. I'm watching this brand get put out. In the meantime, we're also putting out other wallpaper brands under this Bradley umbrella, just kind of learning the business. So I'm there from kind of the ground up. My mentor being your mom, Michelle, who is just taking me along for the journey. And the one thing I promised myself when I was an intern is I'm going to be a damn sponge, like to everything. And I took that very seriously because I, at that time, recognized the position that I was in, where I not only was working under a boss and an entrepreneur and that has something that I want, but also she was willing to teach me everything.
Yeah.
So, I saw the opportunity there, took it, and just started being a sponge. So maybe like a year after Louee started, Michelle sits me down and she's like, well, do you want to have a wallpaper line? And I was like, no, that's ridiculous. Why would I do that? I'm like, Caroline paints and stuff. And I'm like, sure, I have a couple artistic bones in my body, but like, I don't actively do that. And she was like, okay, well, and like literally didn't even listen to me, just skipped over it. She was just like, okay, well, what's your favorite nickname for your dog?
I can't.
No, and like, I wish I was kidding, but this is how this happened.
You're like, I don't want to do that. And she's like,
She's like, anyways, don't wait, like, what's your favorite nickname for your dog? And I was like, well, my dog's name is Nova, and I call her Nova Linda. And Linda is beautiful in Portuguese, and I am half Brazilian. So that's how that came about. And I wrote it down, and Linda is on paper, Linda. So Michelle looks at me and goes, Nova Linda. I love it. And Nova Linda was born.
And Nova Linda was born as a cousin of Louee Vega, because it is weird. Like, she took the Louee Vega, Louie's my dog, so it's like backstory a little bit there. So that's how she got brought in the dog thing. Nina loves her dogs, like I love my dog. But what's weird about the two names is Vega was a celestial pull from something else I was doing in my personal life, and I was like looking at celestial words, and so I pulled those two words together because I thought they sounded nice and I liked the LV. But for the Nova part being your dog's name, which is also a celestial word, and then Linda just being like another L human name.
Yeah.
The whole thing is just crazy how they tie together.
Yeah, no, there's mysterious forces out there,
and they
guys.
were accidental, both of them.
No, because I didn't, and she was like, okay, Nova Linda, let's go. And I was like, okay, Nova Linda, let's go. But at that time, I was not, and that's catches up to speed. Like, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And like simultaneously in all this, I mean, I have an Etsy shop called Nina Makes Graphics because I read a couple Sarah J. Maas books and fell in love with the characters. So I was like, oh, I'll just put quotes on, but it was just like a creative avenue. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to teach myself Canva. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that will be helpful for me. Fast forward, I make a lot of my patterns for Nova on Canva.
There you go.
Just saying, when you pick up skills, they come full circle. But I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was like, that's not how I'm going to do it. Like, there's a way to do it. And that's not what the podcast said, that I got to do it this way. And
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, how do I even, regardless, it was one of those things where we just like threw together some branding, threw some patterns out there. And actually, I mean, for the market we were shooting for at the time, like they're doing fine.
Yeah.
But to fast forward just a little, so that's how Nova Linda came to be. But now the Nova Linda I have now is not that Nova Linda.
No.
No.
Because at that point, also, what Michelle's really good at is she's really good at starting the ball. Like, she gets the ball rolling.
Correct.
So to become, you know, curated and successful and put together, it's got to start somewhere. And I think there's a lot of fear
And just starting.
in just starting because all the pieces like don't look right together or something's off.
No, I don't think
Or
I would have
there's
been able to.
there's failure in the beginning. Like there's awkwardness.
It's so awkward.
It's so awkward.
It's so icky. You're like, ugh.
Yes,
And then
looking back at like what my logo looked like, that's still on half my stuff because I
Sure.
haven't updated it all because it costs money. It's all so just messy the first beginning, and
Yeah.
because you know it's going to be messy and you can feel the mess, you like don't start and you don't
especially
want
if
to
you're a
touch it.
perfectionist like
Yeah,
us.
like us.
Yep.
We have a vision. To execute the vision, it takes a lot of time, money, and energy. And so if you wait for all that time, money, and energy to hit you, you're never going to start.
Well, yeah, it's like waiting for motivation to come.
Yeah, it just
doesn't exist.
It doesn't. You just have to do. So
Right.
so looking back to that, to your point about Michelle pushing the Nova Linda thing, but including you, she took liberties.
I think she saw something in me at the time that I didn't
Yeah.
see in myself.
Same.
And but at the same time, I was like always dreaming about the business I would start.
Yeah.
But I was like, how am I going to do that? I couldn't like see the path that I was going to be able to do that from within the company that I'm already working in.
Yeah.
With like someone believing in me like that. It felt too good to be true. I'm going to be honest.
It was like kind of like,
Because,
how
like-
do these things add up?
Right. But I'm like the Nepo stepsister. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Exactly.
So
Holy.
there's
You're
no way.
Nepo rising.
I'm gonna, yeah. Like Nepo from just pure loyalty, pure,
Sticking
I'm a
out
Taurus,
some
so-
tough days
oh yeah.
with the Bradley clan. You are
Love 'em.
Yeah, you're fully nepified. But it really is just so interesting to see like where both of us started this experience
Yeah.
and how we were like looking at it like, what?
Well, let's talk about so like this is how it started, right? And
Mm-hmm.
clearly you can hear from both of us. So we were both like, well, fuck no. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that. But let's talk about when we were like the moment or like the thing that when we were like, okay, I'm taking this on.
Yeah.
I'm rebranding this. I'm putting like what was that for you when you were like, I'm ready to do this?
Okay, good question. Because that is like the turning point in the story
Yeah.
of now being proud to own it, to promote it,
Exactly.
to experience it, to work on it. I would say once I left the interior design jobs, I joined the Bradley team. I'm working with Nina, and I'm learning a lot more about like these brands and what it will take to really run my own, because I'm watching other textile owners from another front row seat. So even though this brand is technically my own, I had a fortunate experience of being able to kind of have a team running it with me and
Right.
for me before I opened my own business license, paid for a website, had an accountant that I work with. Like I didn't have to do all of that yet. I was basically just making like a commission off any sales I got,
Right.
and then foregoing part of the profit to the family business. So it was almost like a licensing deal
Right.
more than it was my company. So the turning point for me was once I was working with Nina at the family business, I felt more control of my life. I was less overwhelmed, honestly. A lot of it came down to like everything I was going through for those few years. I had too much on my plate to try to manage that. Okay, it was too much. I'm young. I'm in my early mid 20s.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility to open a business banking account, do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to like undersell the responsibility of that and what comes with it. Now that I'm through all of that, it's very doable. A lot of it was in my head being stuck. But at least before I even did that, I just felt more motivated creatively to finally create a collection that like I was inspired,
You were proud of.
I was proud of from like my experience in California. And like, you okay there?
My knee got stuck in my jean hole. Stop looking at me.
Look away.
That was weird. Anyways, we're back. But yes, okay. Yep, you were ready to go.
So I was ready to go. I was inspired creatively to create a collection that represented my vision of the brand. Because up to this point, I also don't want to skip like how grateful I was that any of it was working at all.
We will always be able to hold two realities at once.
Yes.
We can have endless gratitude of like
Yes.
how the ball got rolling.
Yeah.
But then,
But I was a little,
you were like, this isn't me.
yeah, I didn't feel myself in the
Yeah, I relate to that
logo,
100%.
in some of the coloring and the branding and like all the things that were being put out kind of on my behalf with a little bit of permission from my exhausted self. So once I kind of created some like patterns and pulled colors and I just started going for it, the ball then was rolling, the next ball rolled and I was the one pushing it.
Correct.
And once I did that and I started getting like feedback and everything, then I was able to hire a branding partner and she helped me pull all of the thoughts out of my head and manifest she made a manifestation of my thoughts. Another good lesson of not trying to do every single thing yourself. I have the creative ability to come up with my own original logo and do all that, but I just couldn't do all of it. And I was like, if I just pay this person to do this, then I'll make it to point B.
Well, there's also a power of putting your money where your mouth is.
Yes.
Like, it's a different energy. It's like
Different
as if,
energy, like having your own equity.
Yeah, well, that's like if someone paid for your therapy for you versus like you paying for therapy.
Yes.
Just an example of investing in
Yes.
yourself that's common.
Yes.
Like when you pay for something yourself, like you show up differently.
You have skin in the game.
Yeah, put your skin in the game.
Yeah. I heard like a really good example of that recently on a completely different thing about like, yes, it's a great thing. So once I started putting my own money where my mouth was and investing my time, energy, and money into the brand, that ball got rolling. I'm pushing my own ball and it just snowballed. And it took about another year and a half of all of that to like be where I'm at right now and be functioning as my own business and having the family business just as a partner, as a showroom, still as a representative, but like I have full control. So
Right.
the whole now we're 4.5, 5 years into from the very beginning drawing that was made in 2020, 5 years basically.
Correct.
So, and I'm still new into feeling like grounded, a business owner.
No, it's like we feel like we're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
I would say we're each personal consultants on each other's
Yeah, absolutely.
situation.
So I don't know if there was like one moment that I can remember where like I turned the corner, but it was enough experiences like out here in California.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but when you started working, because I've been a Louee Vega believer since the beginning.
Oh, that part of it blows my mind. Like all of you guys were just
fan.
so so into it and pushing it and happy for me and like this is gonna work. And I was like, that's the only reason like I believed it. I didn't believe it.
I know. But then when you came to work with me, because I like anything wallpaper and textiles, I mentored, I trained you on everything I knew. Now we're neck and neck partners. Like anything I know, she knows, vice versa. And then now we're learning together. So, but at the time, but when you came on board, my whole goal was like, I'm going to teach her everything. But I remember always being like, well, go work on Louee Vega.
Yeah.
Go work on, you're like, okay. And I'm like, okay, but you're here and you're going to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, but then you go do something for Louee Vega.
Right.
Because I was like, I wanted you to get the ball rolling so bad.
I know. I took a little bit longer than, let's just say, what I would recommend to other people. But I had some hurdles to overcome. I've always been doing the 9-to-5 job to pay the bills. And so when you're
Yeah.
overwhelmed, spread thin,
Yeah,
it's
we still
easy.
work our day jobs.
Yeah, it's easy to wake up and say, I have all this other stuff to do first.
Mhm.
I'll do that tonight. And then eventually you're like too tired at
Yeah.
night. So there's a lot of those days where, you want to do it all. But that's also the beauty of like letting things unfold over time. It
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
have to be like
we're
an
not,
overnight.
and there's no such thing as overnight. Like
Yeah.
people that are like, oh, that person was an overnight success. Like, no, they've been actually putting 10 years of their work into this, and then they popped off what you perceive as overnight, but it's
Yeah.
not overnight.
Or even if it does happen, like I'll probably reference my fiance and his career in this sometimes because he's an aspiring actor. And I say to him all the time, I'm like, I'm so glad you didn't overnight at 23 become whatever, because he's like the groundwork and the learning and everything he's done the last 5 years is so essential to like his character and the actor I know he is now
Mhm.
and what will land. I mean, thank God. I say
Yeah.
it all the time. Thank God. It's uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable to struggle, and it's so uncomfortable to look at these brands and be like, ugh, like what is the beginning of this? I don't love the way this is looking. But then someone buys it, and you're like, did they just buy that? You know how many days I would wake up and we would get a sale from Louee Vega, and I'd be like, how is that possible? Like I had
Literally.
the most imposter syndrome I feel like you could have. I had extreme
I don't
imposter
know. I feel
syndrome.
like my imposter syndrome could beat your imposter syndrome in a fight.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't
But
know.
strong imposter syndrome of like, this couldn't be.
Like, yeah, well, and that's like, so your brand, gone 4 or 5 years old, 4 year,
Yeah, I
maybe
like to call it
five.
four. I did the art 5 years ago, but our first wallpaper samples were in our hand in 2021.
Okay, 4 years ago. But so where I'm at right now with Nova Linda
Mm-hmm.
is, we started it like 2 years ago. At the time, Michelle literally just drew patterns on a napkin and we put it out
With a Sharpie.
with Sharpie. And she was like, and this is what we're doing. And I was like, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're insane. But we put that out and then the brand just kind of stalled.
Yeah.
And she kept being like, you're gonna take it out, like you're gonna do this, like this will be like an avenue that you take on. And I feel like I like fought it for so long because it just didn't like fit the storyline in my head of like how you become a brand owner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm watching Louee Vega. So Louee Vega at this time is like a couple years ahead of Nova. So
Yeah.
I'm watching like your trajectory and like how things are working out and how came from like a licensing brand to then having your own company. And then my brain could start accepting like, okay, wait, there actually is a path here. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally doing it with Louee Vega. Why not do it with Nova?
Yeah.
So
True.
my version of Nova Linda is at this point 6 months old.
Mm-hmm.
Like 6 months ago,
Rebirth.
I rebirthed. I did a full, like from the old branding, whatever. I did a full rebrand with our graphic artist. I designed an entire collection. I everything. Like
Yeah. Everything.
I picked the colors, I designed the collection, I did the rebrand and everything. So I'm 6 months old. I don't even have a website yet. I don't have my own LLC yet. Like
Mm-hmm.
all of that will come in due time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not concerned about the timing at this point because I know it
No.
will all come together. But what made me 6 months ago be like, okay, now's the time, was just a couple conversations with Michelle where she was like, I believe in you and I think you should do this.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, my confidence and my belief in myself was aligned at the perfect time to be like, yeah, I think I can do this. And I think I want to do this. And then we did like a high point show together, like a Louee Vega booth. And I was like, and that's when I was starting to curate my like mood board and like
Yes.
starting to put the story together of like what I wanted it to be and like the feel I just the like emotion I wanted behind it and the feel and like
Yep.
who is Nova Linda and like what does this person do for fun and where does she live? What kind of house does she live in? Like
Yep.
what's her nightcap drink? It's just like little things like that where I was trying to put together this storyline of this extension of my personality of this really cool girl that I would hang out with.
Yes.
Right. And then, so 6 months old, but I would say the biggest difference in the transition of like being like, I don't want to do this and like I'm ready was one, after that many years of working with you and Michelle, I was like, I have deep trust for these people and I want
Mm-hmm.
to build things with them. Two was also changing my mindset from actually accepting help from people.
Yeah.
because my biggest thing with entrepreneurship is I have to do it alone.
Yes.
Like I have to,
Totally.
like that's how you do it. You
Hmm.
you go embark on the journey by yourself and you burn all the ships and you're like the captain and the co-captain and you're working on, you're
You're
also mopping
tying
the
up your
floors.
boat by yourself. You're
Yeah.
doing all the things that
And
are impossible to
and
do
if
by
you
yourself.
don't do it by yourself, it doesn't count. That was the biggest mindset shift where I
Yeah.
was like, well, Caroline's not doing it by herself.
Yeah.
Michelle's never done it by herself. Like,
Yeah.
why do I have to do this by myself?
Yeah.
That sounds really boring.
I had a lot of resistance for the same reason. I felt like, I think, I don't know if shame is the right word or guilt, but I had this sense of, with the involvement of my parents and how it was all starting, I felt that's why I was trying so hard to go work for other people. I felt a lot of resistance of,
Nepo guilt.
yeah, it won't count. And the truth is, we were talking about it earlier today. Michelle's the seed planter, but she wants to keep planting seeds. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to take and sit there and water one plant. It's our job to water the plants,
Yeah,
which
we're
is
farmers out there
a lot
plowing
of
fields
work.
every single day.
Like we're doing the work. And that's like I think a typically successful people that maybe have some nepotism from whatever industry.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you're on second base, you're on third base, but like you still got to finish the the game. You got to hustle, you got to work, and you also have to be interested in it. These things, Louie Vega would have died, fully died,
Yeah.
if I was just like, I can't. I'm gonna go do something else. She couldn't just like keep building a brand for me without me being involved.
Yeah.
And then once I was ready to take it over, she fully let go of the reins
Hmm.
and does not carry like she's not carrying me around like trying to make me want to do
She's
this.
always there for advice and like
Yeah.
mentorship because she just has, I mean, she knows what sells.
Yeah,
She
she's
has
a
the
great.
experience of 30 years in this industry. Her
Mhm.
connections are like unmatched. So like it's unbelievably valuable, but
Yeah.
it's like you have to be the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah. There's only so much time you can hang on to the mothership.
Yeah, and
Does
that's
that
kind
make
of like
sense?
what
It's like if we're the little boats around the motherships, we can stay little boats and stay around the mothership. But if we want to like go out on our own thing and become a bigger boat with other little boats around our boat, we have to go off.
but we're also like we're slightly codependent
Yeah.
because we are
We don't really want to leave.
but like we're like maybe we're leaving the mothership a little bit, but we're also like
Yeah.
doing it together. Like our
Yes.
boats are
Well,
tied together.
yes, for
And
sure.
Nova and Louie will always be tied together.
Which we're very lucky to have that support.
Yeah, I think, and that's another thing is like, I think our friendship was another big part of me feeling comfortable taking this on because I knew I wasn't going to be alone. And then
Yeah,
also I knew I was going to be with someone who was going to be like, we have like the same vision in different fonts
for
and
sure.
like for everything,
Yeah,
for the
we're
vision,
so
the
aligned.
trajectory we want to take this thing, the way we feed off of each other, like it's literally just like sisters in different fonts is like the best. Like the pink and the purple sister is like how
Yeah,
I describe that.
yeah. It really does help to have like, it's almost like an accountability buddy,
Yeah.
like when you're working out or you're trying to like
Yeah.
do this thing, like having someone there to power through. Like there would be like things Michelle would say about Louie Vega, and I'd be like annoyed because she's my
Mhm.
mom, and I like wouldn't want to hear it. And then you would say it, and I'd be like, okay, I can do it now. And it's so
Exactly.
unfair to her, but that's just the chemistry of like mother-daughter relationships and just
For sure.
resistance I was feeling of like being annoyed of being pushed to something I knew I needed to go do, but I didn't want to start it. But if it weren't for you, I don't know if I would have overcome that like awkward first few years and had the confidence. Like you gave me so much more confidence.
Well, I'm glad because it's time to repay the favor.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Your
I
time.
got you.
Because I literally, I mean, just putting out a first collection, I was like, and it takes a minute for this for it to sell. Like
Oh yeah,
I know that. How
what do you
many
call that? Like our
sales cycle?
sales cycle is extremely long, so there's a lot of time there to feel
Like the people have to,
insecure.
they have to build a house.
They gotta build a house.
We don't have a
to
shortage of
buy our
insecure
product.
time.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
So
I was so, you put out a line and it's like you're saying good things, Michelle's saying like everyone's like around me saying good things, but I'm like, what if I'm just surrounded by a whole bunch of yes men?
oh no, I would not let you. Because it's also expensive. It's expensive to invest in the
Yeah.
collections and the samples, and so it's not just something that like we make something and put it online and wait for it to sell. Like we have to do a lot of work.
And you got to push through the doubt and the fear.
You really do. but we're here for each other to know what's cool and what's not cool.
Yeah,
And I think that if your stuff wasn't good, honestly, I would have told you.
correct. Correct.
Because why would I, you
And I'm
know?
I'm really counting on that. Like,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway, I guess that's like a good starting point so you guys can understand. I mean, I could think we kind of like skipped over this, but just a little extra emphasis on like what our brands actually are. They're wallpaper and fabric brands that we
mhm.
sell to interior designers. So
Yep.
we sell exclusively to the trade, and we plan on growing and diversifying what our brands carry and sell. Yeah, we're represented by our family, my family brand, but we're taking our brands and we're going to the next level. And we're here to talk about the experience and be honest. And hopefully, I mean, we each have like different goals and things, I think, for the podcast and where we want it to go. But for me, like just starting out, I'm a big podcast junkie. Like when podcasts came around, the last really COVID, I guess, is when I started listening,
Right.
really changed so much in my life.
Hmm.
Like it's like a different form of like therapy or
Yeah, well,
commitment to
and
like self
that's what like
whatever care
that's what we put
work.
in like the description. Like that, like this isn't a how-to. Like I
No.
don't because we're doing it now, and I'm still like, how did we do this?
Yeah, we don't really know.
This is a like you're coming with us to figure out along the way, but at the same time, like there there is there's being an entrepreneur, and then there's the mindset of an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and and the mindset of my entrepreneur, I feel, is just having the confidence to put yourself out there
Yeah.
and like accepting opportunities as they come along. And like we touched on the nepotism thing.
Hmm.
My favorite things to say is like everyone's born with a set of cards. Like you
Yes.
come into this video game of life and you slip into your avatar and you get to born with a set of cards. You're born with, your parents that are your parents, your life circumstance is your life circumstance,
Hmm.
and you get dealt more cards. You get dealt trauma or good friends or da da da. And
Yeah.
how you play those cards determines the trajectory of your life. And
Exactly.
if you can take those cards, the good and the bad, and capitalize on it in a sense of like making things work for you and having that mindset that it is working in your favor. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to walk through the flames of hell because you need to be strong enough to carry the fire.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Very well said. That's kind of the whole thing I think we're both really good at.
yeah.
Without going into detail, we got a lot of cards and we're constantly accepting the cards.
And
Okay?
questioning the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
We're like,
But
are we sure this serves me? We'll like go
yeah,
back and
for
forth.
sure.
Like, is this mindset really going to get us there? Like, just little things like that.
But we don't spend a lot of time getting hung up on our hand. We're like,
No.
this is what they are. This is how we're going to play them. And we take full advantage of the good and the bad.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of times the issue with like what you see out there is like only seeing people's good hand.
And I get it. People just want to show their good hand. Like,
Of
I
course.
understand why. Like, you don't want people to like know your weaknesses and then they're going to like use it against you. But like, people can't use your weaknesses against you if you fully own them.
Yeah, and for me, I think the reason why I like am attracted to like certain podcasts or certain like in entertainment sources is because the ones that like only show you their good hands, they kind of make you question, can I do that thing?
Yeah.
Because it's an unrealistic view into, or some people do have that path where everything works out and it's handed to them and it's easy. First of all, I don't want that path, but I think that there's way more people that have like really complex backgrounds to how they got where they got. And when
Yeah.
I hear those stories, like I just find it one just so interesting.
Yeah. I like seeing an underdog rise up.
Yeah, it's great. It's fun. It's cool. And I think comparison is like the worst thing you can do. So
Mhm.
there's a line of like taking stories and inspiration and hearing just all this different, we are so inundated with information, but you can take a lot of it and like use it to your advantage to grow and change and take control of your life.
Yeah, and it's so annoying that it's just as simple as a mindset. It's like so simple yet so hard that like it's really just choosing. Like when I chose, like I'm going to be an entrepreneur years ago before Nova Linda, And I mean, it was just something I thought about all the time, but it was a choice to be like, we're doing like I know that this is my path. And then they're like, entrepreneurs work more, like you're gonna work more your whole life. And I'm like, oh, I hate working.
I know.
Terrible.
I
But I'm
know.
like, but that's what I want. So let's go figure out a way to make the work fun. And I think
Mhm.
that's something we do really well together.
Yeah, we do.
Is work is so much fun
Yeah.
with us. And like the stuff that we do.
Yeah. And every time we get together, because I don't know if we touched on this, but Nina lives in Atlanta. I live in Los Angeles. We couldn't live like two further places from each other. So physically, we're only together like 2 to 3 times a year
Mhm.
for a few days out of the year. Or if we do see each other, it's like in short spurts. But I think even like thinking about every time we are together for a few days, we make like a major change.
Oh, it's like we like change the world.
We literally move mountains. We are incredibly just, I don't know, like shifting, innovating in those 3 or 4 days. And then the next 6 months, we're like different people.
Well, everything that we're doing right now in
Hmm.
this like meeting, like starting the podcast is one of them, but all the things that we're planning on the back end to finish by the end of the year, guys, it's so much fun.
It's so
Like
fun.
I
That
wish
was what I was trying to say. It's fun.
I wish everybody had this.
Yeah.
But we'll give you an inside look on it, but it's also like it's out there for you.
There you go. It is out there for you. And the thing is, too, it's funny that sometimes when we do meet up, whether it's like at a High Point show, that I'm like, oh, I forgot to fly all the way across the country. It's going to take me 12 hours to get there and I'm going to be exhausted, all this stuff. Or even like, I really wanted you to come out here. I knew this was going to be fun. We're like at my house or whatever. But I could have easily been like, it's not a good week. So easily.
You got to take opportunity by the balls.
You got to take opportunity by those balls, baby. And every time we do, I'm so glad we got together and had fun and
Well,
create.
in the world that pushes comfort above all else, comfort,
Yeah,
convenience,
that's kind of
ease,
the issue.
spit on it.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah.
That's not going to get you anywhere, people.
It's really easy to fall into that too. I fall into it all the time. Yeah. I love to be comfortable. I love to get in bed and
For sure. I've been unlearning that for years, but I
yeah.
realized that anything that I do in my life that's worth a damn is from me being uncomfortable first. So I'm like,
Oh
well,
my gosh. It's
right.
so fucked up, but it really is true.
But like now it's like, let's go intentionally put ourselves in uncomfortable situations because we need to get to the next level. Like this is a really fun video game. It's fun.
Yeah. And it becomes more fun when you're in control. I think there's some times where it's all happening around you and you're not so much in control and it feels scary.
Yeah.
But if you can get to the point where you're like kind of in the driver's seat, then it actually becomes fun.
Podcast number 2, tune in. It's going to be about the victim mindset.
Yes. We're
That's
just
it.
bashing the shit out of the victim mindset.
I will literally show up at anyone's home that's listening to this just to punch you in the face and say, do not be a victim about this.
Yeah.
Set yourself free. That's episode 2.
There we go.
So guys, let's see. Yep. We're 15 minutes into this. I think that caps us for episode 1.
Yeah. That was perfect.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you like what you heard, subscribe. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, probably. I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm sure I will. YouTube. Follow us on TikTok.
We're going to be
and
everywhere.
Instagram at Waldorf Podcast everywhere. And I hope that you got some value out of this.
Yeah, I hope you learned a little bit about who we are, why we're here, and it's going to be really fun. We're going to have other guests, definitely my mom, other entrepreneurs, like fun people that we're in the industry with, and maybe people outside the industry. We're just getting started, and it's going to be like real people talking about real success and real failure. And we just want to inspire you to start that side hustle, do that thing you've always wanted to do. Doesn't have to be about money, but just taking a risk and doing something for yourself, getting out of that victim mentality, okay?
Absolutely.
We've both been there. You got to get out.
Fight with it every day.
We fight with it every day. But you know what? There's so much
life to live.
There's so much life to live. I'm so proud of you. So glad you're here.
You.
This is so fun.
Okay.
Just the beginning. Okay, cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your days, people. Love you.
Love ya.